Barstow Live, starring BSR Pockets, BSR Hot Rod, BSR Momo, BSR Jova, BSR Scar, BSR SR5, Eddie D, featuring BSR Wings, Bubba J, Vince Conway, BSR Rugrat, Gear, Big Vito, Palmion, Randy Seeley, musical guest, BSR Mayhem, and your host, BSR Texan. Ladies and gentlemen, BSR Texan.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Spotter Stand. Coming at you live. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Tonight,
User joined
in
your
the
channel.
booth with us, we've got BSR Hot Rod, BSR Palmian, BSR Pockets just now joining the broadcast. It's a long way up those stairs, isn't it, Pockets?
It is. God, I'm out of breath. It's had to run across the parking lot. There were some protesters. I had to get around them. I'm sorry I'm late. You know.
Well, we're
Christ.
glad you made it.
He acts like he's here every week or something.
Wow.
I try to
Also,
be.
also with us tonight, BSR Rugrat coming to us live from her vehicle on her way to get ice cream. Appreciate you being with us, Rugrat. Crickets.
The cat got her tongue.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here. No, I was actually turning in. So
Oh, she had to focus, make sure she's not turning in front of somebody. Well, we had a bonus points week this last week. Wednesday night at Texas Motor Speedway, Thursday
Ooh,
and Friday at Michigan. And Hot Rod giving us out the boo there because he had his typical
5 laps to go,
Texas
blow off.
race. That's right. Excellent truck Wednesday night. Was running great, running in the top 5, ready to have some bonus points. 5 laps to go in the race, and the motor gives out on him. So I just can't believe that. And you called it before the race, within the last 5 laps, and sure enough, 5 laps to go.
I don't know what that bug is, but I just can't get past that 5 laps to go. And I don't have no tape on, and I'm running the same gear you are, so I have no freaking idea what it is. I'm just gonna I gotta throw that set away and start from scratch, I guess.
Maybe it's the game Texas, isn't it? I was going to say maybe just
Yep.
take the track out, put it back in, but it's a game track, so yeah.
Well, it's our track, but
Yeah, we'll take it out, put it back in, and maybe you'll have some better luck.
I just take it out because I can run the regular game track. So
Well, let's get on into last week's racing. We're going to start out with the Truck Series. Most of the regular season already behind us in this Truck Series. We've got 10 of the 13 races in the regular season already behind us. Just finished up with Texas. Coming up this week, Iowa on Wednesday night, Chicagoland the following week, and finishing up the regular series with Pocono the week after that. And that'll be the end of regular season of truck racing. We'll be heading into the chase for the Truck Series after Pocono. So let's go ahead and take a look at some race results from our bonus points race at Texas. You got those up for us there, Hot Rod?
oh, 1 second.
I'll take this one then. In first
Nope,
place.
nope. You can't do that.
Well, come on.
I'll go there. Gear
Oh, we're gonna
Jammer,
have to give Paleo a little job then. So find something that he can do every week.
I start riots.
Mr. Gear Jammer won. Job was second. Pockets third. Texan fourth. And Mr. Mayhem rounds out top 5.
Gear Jammer wins him a race in the Truck Series, picks up 3 bonus points towards his chase. And I believe these are going to be the first bonus points that Gear has put up on the board in this Truck Series. And you couldn't pick a better race to get in on that bonus points board than the bonus points race. 3 bonus points for Gear for that first place finish. SS Joba is going to receive 2 bonus points. Pockets, myself, and Mayhem all going to receive 1 bonus point. And look at that. You know, we talked about what a great race Hot Rod had at Texas. You look down there, and that asterisk is right next to his name. He led 40 laps in that race, led the most laps, had a great truck, and engine quits with 5 laps to go. You know, Gear Jammer had a good truck, but he laid back a lot of that race. You know, he was.
You know what's screwed up about that? I'll bet you if you ask him, he ran my setup. I'll bet he ran my setup.
Well, he ran it pretty well because, you know, like I said, he laid back most of that race. There at the end, he really came on and showed what he had and brought it up to the lead. I believe I had the lead coming up to the last few laps of this race, and SS, Gear Jammer, and Pockets were all drafting, pulling up to me. And I went in the corner just a little bit too high, left a little bit of room, and Gear Jammer was able to get it in there underneath me. Once he did that, the freight train was on. SS Joba, Pockets all went right by me, and Gear Jammer taking the win. SS second, Pockets third. That was a hell of a race. Great race. If you look down there, we did have a few cautions. 6 cautions, total of 21 laps, but we also did have some green flag pit stops in this race, and that, you know, there was some great racing in here.
All right, so we need to clarify a couple of things for the statistics in the record book. If I'm not mistaken, now Gear Jammer has won, or Gear, as I affectionately refer to him as First Gear. Is that the first series points paying race outside the Super Speedway Series that he's won?
No.
No, it is the first one in the trucks. It is the first one in the trucks, though.
His first points paying race win was dirt.
No, I don't include dirt. Asphalt.
It may be.
Let's ask him. He's out there. Gear, was that your first points paying in one of the 3 major NASCAR series?
Yes,
Cup,
I
truck,
believe that was his first.
Didn't you win Mid-Ohio?
No, I did.
Oh, okay. Pakistan.
Stay in your lane.
Hey, you had to bring up that Mid-Ohio where I took Larry out of the lead.
I knew I wouldn't. So, or otherwise, I wouldn't have probably known for a fact who won that race if it wasn't for all of that. But no, we're not counting dirt. Gear. We're only counting the 3 major NASCAR series.
Yeah,
Truck,
they don't.
Cup, or NXS.
Pockets don't consider dirt a major series. Although, as far as I'm concerned, it's more important than any of these other goddamn shithole races we run.
Well, it's just
races.
I
can't help it. I can't help it because the world's made that way, and you don't agree with it. It's just the way it is. I'm just trying to point out
the man you're talking to feels the same way. So
well, that's fine. We're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss this race, and he
get him, Gear.
There he is, right there. All right, so
Get him, Gear.
the only point I'm trying to make here is that the first race in one of the major asphalt series that we provide was a bonus point race, and he got 3 bonus points for his first win.
That's right.
So that's the point. That's a pretty good thing, and it will put an asterisk in the record books as a bonus point event was his first win, and that's if you're going to win one, especially your first one, that bonus point event is the best one to win. Is the point I'm trying to make. So great job, Gear.
Is your mic working, Gear?
No,
Tell
it
me,
never works.
We win the important ones.
The important ones.
Yep,
Well-
I won the first one of 2020. Gear won a points race.
That's
so-
right. That's right. Yeah, Rugrat did pull off the very first victory of any official race in 2020. She won the Hangover race, January 1st, 2020.
And also my first win ever.
And yeah,
Disconnected from your channel.
well, Gear must be. I bet he'll be right back in here trying to get that microphone to work. Yeah, you could not have picked a better race to have a victory come in
User
than
entered your
Texas.
channel.
So
All right, can you all hear me?
we got
There
you.
we go.
Yes, we hear you. I thought you were at work.
I am.
Yeah,
Did
what
you
you got to
install
do with it?
TeamSpeak on your work computer?
I did.
Is that against regulations?
Nope.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, that is my first win out of the 3 series. I have one on dirt. I have one. Well, I won a 9-point race on the super speedway, but yes, that's the first official point race.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides the team series races.
I haven't won a point series yet.
We
the,
almost.
the race I won was a fun run.
That's
No.
right. It
Yes,
was. It was.
Well, fun run where?
I thought he won for our team this year.
No,
No,
I won the first race of this team of season 41 as the fun run. The
Oh, it's the
second
meet and
race,
greet race?
yes.
the first
Yeah,
race
okay.
Texan won. We pushed Texan to the win on that one.
That's right. That's the one I was thinking of.
Well, we were trying to push you to win last night, but we'll get to that
Yes.
on the
Yes.
Saturday night team series when we get there.
Yes, he
so-
could have won last night had he had not had a bad pit stop.
Gear has, you've had some impressive runs here lately. Some very good finishes. I remember either last week, week before, you were putting the pressure on SS Joba for a victory, where you did end up finishing second place. So, definitely your luck has turned around. I'm going to knock on some wood for you right here. Hopefully I'm not jinxing you, and that luck continues the way it has been here in the last few weeks, because you've had fast cars for quite some time now. You just had some bad luck in getting involved in incidents during the race on the track. And here lately, last few weeks, you've been putting together some great races and having some great runs. And it's good to see you finally get that points series victory. And like I said, you couldn't have won a better race. Texas Motor Speedway, these are going to be your first bonus points in the truck series, and you're going on the board with 3 right off the bat.
Yeah, it was a good race. And yes, to answer your question, Hot Rod, I did run your setup. I did make a couple tweaks to it. I believe Texan helped me with that just to fit my driving style. But other than that, it was a good race. We had some good battles going on.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is I know you didn't change the gear, and you surely didn't change the tape.
I did not. I only changed a little bit of stuff just to make it, just to adjust to my driving style, how I drive.
You probably dropped the track bar a little bit. Maybe move the weight up a click or two.
No, I just dropped the track bar and the wedge down a little bit.
Yep.
But I think during the game, during the race itself, the reason I was staying in the back for so long is because one of my bad luck. So I figured I'd just stick in the back of the track and let it play out, and then at the end of the race, save myself. If I'm gonna have a good run, make it the last stop of the race instead of the first off the get go.
Yep, that part. I just knew I had a good car. I qualified decent, and I could get out front and run. So that's what I did.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to win that race. If you want me to be honest with you, I expected to finish in top 5, but I didn't expect to win it.
well,
Yeah,
when the opportunity presented itself, you took advantage. You did what you had to do, and great job, great race.
I may not have won. I may not have won either if I didn't blow up, but I sure as hell had a second place sewed up.
Yeah, me and Joba, even the week before when we raced at Kansas, I believe it was, wasn't it Kansas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and him, when we got hooked up, we were fast, and that's the same thing that happened Wednesday night. I didn't expect Texan to push up the track that far, but I mean, one man's mistake is another man's glory, isn't that what they say?
That's right.
But yeah, well,
Here's another thing we need to figure out too that I just find it interesting stats wise and everything like that. So since you started racing, how many races do you think you've run before you captured your first win?
Well,
Where
I
the
don't know.
hell's ADD? I hear it.
I came in what?
At the beginning of the year, or no, last year, right?
No, I came in what, 4 races before the chase last year?
yeah, you came in about 6 or 7 races after Eddie.
Yeah, I came in. I think there was 4 or 5 races left in the season before the chase, which, okay, it's but during the chase, and I know Texans has touched on it a lot, that I finished pretty good in the points in the chase, and I didn't even have any bonus points. So, I mean, it just took me a little while to get my setup right and to learn the game. But I finally figured I finally have the game coming to me and my setup right. So, and then hats off to Hot Rod and Texan and Jobo because they've been really helping me out with setups and stuff. So,
Yeah, if we can get into that a little bit. If he came in around there before the chase, if you count all 3 series, that's probably somewhere around 30 races because the truck was probably already a little bit into the chase at that point, or right just at the beginning of it.
And then add another 30
You
for
can
this
add.
season so far.
Well, this season we've had 15 in the Cup already, 13 in the Xfinity, and 10 in the truck. So that is, what, 38?
Yes.
So somewhere on the range of 60, 70 races. And finally getting that win in there on an official points win. I mean, you like we mentioned, you picked up a couple of wins here and there, but not on an actual official points race. So
Yeah, because that's the only that's where you find the statistics in the record book. Where they keep the statistics in that book. You know what I mean? That's the book, the big book, the legitimate series racing. So probably what would you think, Gary? 8 months, maybe. So how many races did you say? 60?
it was about 60 or 70 races. I would say about maybe 7-8 months, somewhere around there.
About 8 months, 60, 70 races in 8 months to capture that first win. And I know personally, I have seen you learn, struggle, be frustrated. You've quit 25 times. You always came back the next night after you quit. You only quit for a short period of time, but you always came back.
that sounds
and you kept
familiar.
fighting.
I know a few
That's
people
a
have done that.
Pennsylvania thing. I don't
It's
know
the
what
damn
goes on in
Pennsylvania guys. I
Pennsylvania,
mean, what the hell?
but I always encouraged you, don't quit, keep going. And I was, for one, very proud to see that. That win actually made me smile in between going, that son of a bitch just beat me. I did say that with a smile on my face.
Well, I'm only expecting to continue from here, and as we move through this second segment of these other 2 series and get into the chase, I would bet you're going to start really enjoying your racing quite a bit more than you have a little bit in the past.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a hang of the CTS physics. Well, Wednesday and Friday nights. Thursday night, I'm still a little shaky on, but I'm getting there. And then everything else, I mean, the super speedways, the Saturday nights, I've been pretty consistent with that. So I don't know if it's just because of the teammates I have. They're not selfish like somebody else, but yeah,
Yeah, we've had some pretty good team races. Last night was a great team race, and like I said, we're going to talk about that when we get over to Saturday night. Let's take a look here at our point standings right now.
I didn't think it was that great.
Well, as far as
great enough to deserve an extra mention in the middle of the show, but I guess we'll see when we get there.
As far as the teamwork goes, but really between all of these teams, I think it highlights the very meaning of the series, teamwork,
Yes.
team series, because all three teams did what they had to do in that particular race. So, yeah, let's go take a look here at our point standings in this truck series with just 3 races left in the regular season. I've got a pretty good lead over Pockets in second place, down by 43. Eddie D in third place, down by 60. Mayhem in fourth, down by 63. And Hot Rod, rounding out the top 5, down by 72. So Gear closed the gap on Hot Rod quite a bit with this last race here.
That's what happens when you blow up and finish last.
Yeah, with Hot Rod having the bad luck and Gear picking up the victory. Let me go back over here to this schedule and race results just to see the points difference right quick. So Gear brought home 46 points. Hot Rod brought home 36 points. So Gear Jammer did gain up 10 points in one race on that 5th place position. Right now, it looks like he is 26 points behind Hot Rod. At that rate, if you could have that kind of luck in these next 3 races, Gear.
It's gonna happen in Iowa. It ain't gonna happen in Iowa.
Yeah, I
It
wouldn't.
ain't gonna happen in Chicagoland. And it
I
ain't
wouldn't-
gonna happen in Pocono, brother.
I wouldn't count on it, but at that rate of point gaining, it is possible to get into that top 5, pick up another bonus point for a top 5 finish in the segment before we head into the chase.
I'm not gonna blow up in Iowa, and I'm not gonna blow up Chicagoland. I may possibly blow up a Pocono. I have blown up there before, but I don't think so.
Iowa's gonna be a hard one. I don't even think I raced at Iowa yet.
No,
Well-
I was tough.
Now, you can ask
Very
Pockets
tough.
about Iowa. He loves that track.
Perfect place for a pool, he says. Or a pond. Perfect place for a pond.
Yes, a fishing pond.
So let's go on and move to Thursday night. Thursday night's Cup Series. We are now into segment 2 in the Cup Series. 2 races in. Michigan was also a bonus points race for the Cup Series. Looks like Mayhem took the pole, and I was able to take the victory at Michigan, picking up 3 more bonus points towards my Cup chase. Let's go over here and take a look at our full race results from Thursday night's Michigan race.
Yes, Texan with the win. Mayhem second. Pockets third. Momo got 4th. And the rookie rounds out the top 5.
There you go. Palmian picking up another bonus point in the Cup Series. I believe he already had a couple bonus points, not counting attendance bonus points. He had already picked up a couple this season in the Cup Series, adding one more to his bonus points total. Not doing too bad here in this Cup Series, which is, I mean, really, this is the toughest one.
User in your channel timed out.
Looks like we lost Rugrats. She must be standing in line getting her ice cream right now.
User entered your channel.
There she's back.
She's running past the hospital, probably.
So, yeah, congrats, Palmian, on the top 5, picking up another bonus point. Your racing has improved considerably here lately, too. You've had some great races, almost picking up a victory on Friday night, as we're going to see when we get to there. You've got some more bonus points Friday night. So, you've been having some good runs and some pretty good finishes here recently. It's a little more fun when you're doing well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like I said, it's there are a lot of tracks I'm still getting the hang of, and I knew it wasn't going to be one of those snap my fingers and I'm competitive. So at the races I'm in there and throwing 110, 120% at it, and I don't remember if it was Thursday night or Friday night that I had no mic and no sound at one point. I want to say it was Friday night though. So yeah, that's been rectified. But Michigan's one of those tracks. I said I liked it, and other than that first lap where everyone's on ice, I feel I can put my car anywhere I need to and be able to make some moves.
Well, we had some really great racing this week. Michigan in the Cup. This was an awesome race. If you look down below there at the bottom, only 3 cautions at the Michigan race for a total of 12 laps under caution, and we had a lot of green flag pit stops. Several green flag pit stops in this race. It finished under green with a green flag stop. I think really what brought me the win, Mayhem and I were running really close for those last couple of runs. And that last pit stop, I added a little bit of tape. I think we had somewhere in the range of 13 laps or so to go after the pit stop. I added some tape. Mayhem wasn't thinking about the tape on that pit stop, and he did not add any. So I think that little bit of tape that I added, taking that chance, rolling the dice, I'm not going to blow up, is what brought me the victory in this race, because Mayhem had a very fast car Thursday night. So, sometimes that's what it's about, strategy in the pits. And that's one great thing about this game and running open setups the way we do, not having a fixed setup, is being able to make some adjustments on your car, even if it's just something as simple as adding 5% tape at the end of the race. But you can change your tire pressure, wedge, track bar, all that good stuff. And that's one of the great things about this, is it changes the strategy of the race, especially when you're going to have a pit stop under green flag with, less than a fuel run to go, because you can make that choice to add some tape, or if your car's been loose the whole race, so you can have a good long run setup, you can tighten it up just a little bit, because you're not going to have to run that full fuel run. And you can afford to wear off a little bit more front tire if you need to, just to have a good, stable car to be able to really get in the gas off the corner. So, the setup changes you're able to make, open setups, it just adds that extra factor to all of these races. And awesome race on Thursday night. So we're only 2 races into this segment 2. Let's see what our standings look like currently. Looks like I am in the lead on Thursday night. Wow, 10 points. 10-point lead after 2 races. That just doesn't seem right. How does...
That's right. I finished almost last in this one, too.
So 10 points.
Mayhem. And Mayhem, I don't remember what happened to Mayhem. Mayhem didn't run the first race.
No, he ran the first race. I think you may have had
And he
some
went
bad
out
luck.
early in the
Yeah.
first race.
Yeah, because he finished second, this past Thursday. Hot Rod in third place, down by 14. Pockets in fourth, down by 16. And Eddie D, rounding out the top 5, down by 17 points. And you got Palmian and Eddie D. I know you guys got this little friendly rivalry going on. You guys always seem to be right next to each other in the points. And there you are again, only separated by 3 points currently. Off the top 5. Both of you guys currently ahead of Momo. Momo sitting back 21 points behind in 7th place. So that's saying something right there. You guys are ahead of, one of the series veterans. Momo is last season's Xfinity Series champion, and he was only 2 points off of a championship in this Cup Series last season. So,
Look, I've got several threats right behind me in points. I've got Momo 1 point back, Joba 2 points back, Sean 3, and Gear 5. So
it's early.
Yeah.
Yes.
The challenge is going to be trying to keep them behind me.
13 races in this segment, and we're only 2 races into it. So we have 11 races left to go.
Yeah.
That's
correct.
And let me slip back over to the schedule here right
And
quick.
you gained 10 points on me this week.
10 points?
10 points on me this week. That's correct.
So last week, basically, you were only down by 4 points?
4 points. Yes.
Wow. That just shows you how much things can change in just one race. And that brings into play one of these things we're always talking about as far as the chase and the bonus points going into this chase. We do these bonus points to kind of, reward people who have done well through the season as far as getting victories and doing well in these bonus point races, and as well as the attendance. But even with those extra bonus points, you're usually not going into the chase too far behind, even if you haven't gained a lot of points. So as you can see, 10 points in one race, it's happened over 2 different races here just in one week alone. So being behind going into the chase by 10 or 15 points, while it can be a game changer, it's not necessarily the end all be all factor, because 10 points in one race can happen pretty easily. I want to go back over to the schedule here and see what we have coming up this week on Thursday night. Look at that.
Infinia.
Infineon road course coming up Thursday night in the Cup Series.
That means Texan will be stretching his lead with 3 in a row. Yeah, I threw the kinks out there.
He's trying to, he knows what's going to happen to me. I'm going to lose second and third gear.
And
Well,
Pockets
run
is going
into
to take more
somebody
people
again.
out.
No, Larry's gonna get redemption for Mid Ohio.
There
Leave
you
me out of it.
go.
You had
There
nothing to
you
do with it.
go.
Hey, Donald.
Or he'll run into somebody else. He'll find
I
somebody
haven't
Well,
run into
he-
anybody. I won that
he took-
race. I know y'all are
No,
mad about it, but I
Texan-
won that race by
Texan.
not running into
He
anybody.
took me out
Texan
first lap,
will
so I
run
mean,
into
I
somebody.
did not take you out.
Oh
I
yeah,
rolled
he
over.
he took me out at one point in that race too when he didn't want to get lapped.
yeah, that's
No, I'm just kidding. That was just
I-
good
I
hard
did.
racing. You didn't take me out. It was a racing incident.
I bobbled a little bit there. It was my fault. And yes, I backed up when Gear decided to go around me instead of just stopping and letting me
Oh yeah,
get my
I'm
car
gonna
under
stop when a car's facing across the freaking track. Yeah,
Well,
no problem.
I did. I was trying to back up to get the hell off of the track, and you decided to go around me, and it was just timing. It wasn't. But you ended up having a pretty good finish after that. You recovered from that pretty good, didn't you?
I got second. The only reason is because Texan took Cartwright out.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they don't put a little parentheses next on the scoreboard that says just because Texan took Larry out.
No, that's right. Second
still
place
gets
is second place. And even if I hadn't, fourth place isn't too bad either at that road course.
I'm just
only-
waiting for the Roval.
The
Oh,
only
yeah.
time they'll ever make any mention of that kind of thing is right here on the spotter stand every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central.
That's right.
This just in: racing administrators have docked Texan 50 points for wrecking high rod.
What you say? Texans losing second and fourth gear?
Probably
He has before.
Uh,
and still won.
at second and fourth, first and third, second and third.
He's
I
the only
wouldn't be
driver I've
surprised.
ever seen win a road course race with only first gear.
No, I don't think I've ever done that. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the guys out there. I can see Big D out there in the chat. What's up, Big D? And
Donald White.
Big
Donnell
Dito.
White.
Yes, sir. So let's go on and take a look at Friday night Xfinity Series. We are into segment 2, race number 2 of the Xfinity Series, Michigan, and another bonus point race. See from the results right here, it looks like I had a pretty good car on Friday night with the pole and the victory on Friday night, and that was another roll the dice moment on this Friday night race where we had green flag pit stops once again, and on that last pit stop, once again I did roll the dice. Took only 2 tires. I believe I came out of the pits with 7 laps to go. Took only 2 tires and bumped it up to 70 tape on Friday night. And I can't believe that I picked up this victory on Friday night, because I took out SS Joba at one point during this race. We were 3 wide going down into the corner. I was in the middle, and when I go back and look at the replay, there was plenty of room for me there. I got spooked thinking I was going to get down on top of Gear Jammer, who was on the bottom, and I went up the track a little bit and just got right into SS Joba. he ended up flipping over on his roof, riding the wall on two wheels for a little while, and that ended his race. His race was over after that because his car was junk. I went into the pits. I had quite a bit of damage. My hood was pushed up. They actually shut my car off for just a couple of seconds. It's one of those where they're beating on it, they turn it off, they turn it right back on. I could still see my hood pushed up a little bit in my window, and my car, I thought I was done for, just riding around for the rest of the race, but it was still fast. Even without adding any extra tape or anything, I was still able to hang in the draft and race with the leaders up there at the front. And I hit the wall at one point later in the race, and believe it or not, that did take a little bit off of my top end, where I was just a little bit slower at the end of the straightaway than the rest of the cars were. But lucky for me, it was a green flag race, and we ended under green flag with that last pit stop. Taking the 2 tires. There were several other drivers that just took 2 tires on that pit stop, but I was the only one that went to 70 tape. Some of the other ones might have gone maybe to 65 or something, but 7 laps to go, beat up car. I rolled the dice, man. 70 tape, either it's going to blow up or it's going to last, and it lasted, thank goodness. And I pulled off another victory, grabbed another 3 bonus points for my chase here in the Xfinity Series. So let's go over here and take a look at the results of this Friday night race, and let's see how everybody did under finishing on Friday night.
Texan with the win. The rookie in second. Pockets third. Gear fourth. And Eddie D rounds out top 5.
So that quite a few of the recent additions getting bonus points here on Friday night. Palmian with the second place finish, picking up 2 bonus points. Gear Jammer and Eddie D also bringing in the top 5s, picking up a bonus point toward their Friday night chase as well. Palmian, if my engine had not have lasted, which I know that's what you guys were hoping for back there, you, Pockets, and Gear Jammer were all racing with each other back there behind me, and if my engine had blown, that was 3 bonus points for you, and that would have been your first victory outside of the Super Speedway Series on Saturday night. So, great job. It's like I was saying earlier, you've had some good finishes here lately, and I know it's a lot more fun when you're doing well and you're up there on the lead lap racing with the guys in the front of the pack. So congrats on that second place finish, man. Good job.
Well, thank you. I know it was only second place, but that was a hell of a race, man. We were all having fun in the back. I know myself, Pockets, Gear, even Eddie, until I don't know what happened to Eddie. I think he missed a pit lane or something. But I mean, we were all back there just trading places, cutting under each other, pushing each other, just what you'd call downright racing. It was fantastic. Second place, I enjoyed every minute of it.
And if you look at those intervals, we finished under green flag conditions. So 0.46, less than half a second to second place, 0.94 and 1.21. You guys were all right there with each other. And even though I had that 70 tape on, draft plays a huge factor at tracks like Michigan. This is a big, long track, plenty of room to build up speed on those straightaways. And if you guys hadn't been necessarily battling with each other racing, if y'all had all lined up a little bit sooner, you probably would have caught me with a few laps, within a few laps of the end of that race. And, that would have changed everything. You guys would have been able to pass me, and no telling, y'all would have had to battle for the win there at the end. So I think, how did you say, you guys were all battling for who's going to be in the front in case I do blow up, because in your mind, you're battling for the win right then,
Oh, yeah, to a degree, yeah. But, I mean, this doesn't tell the whole story of it because, I came out ahead of Pockets and Gear, and then they drafted up and passed me, and I had to fight my way back to the front of that group. So it was, it was one of those. I was going for the win, or trying to at least lead that little pack. So
Well, that was a hell of a race and a hell of a finish. We had some great racing all week. Texas is a great track for great racing. Same thing with Michigan. Great track for racing, no matter what series it's in. And they were all fun this week. It was all a lot of great racing. Let's go take a look at our standings here in the Xfinity Series. Just 2 races into segment 2. Pockets in the lead. Look at that. BSR Pockets got the lead of the Xfinity Series on Friday night by 1 point over myself. Gear Jammer starting out great season here on Friday night in 3rd place, down by 4 points. Hot Rod in 4th, down by 8 points. And then we've got a tie currently for 5th place between SS Joba and Palmian, both down by 9 points. And Eddie D right there behind them, down by 10 points. So you're welcome, Palmian, and I'm sorry, SS, for taking you out during that race, but that's pretty much what's given us that tie for 2nd place is the fact that I took SS out. He would have definitely had a better finish than he did. Palmian with the 2nd place finish and the great racing in that race picked up quite a few points as well. So tie for 5th place currently, and we've got 12 races total in segment 2, so that leaves 10 races left to go. And I believe we will be at Iowa on Friday night as well. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
This week's gonna suck. I'm gonna miss this race.
You're going to be there for Infineon?
I'll be there Wednesday and Thursday. I won't be there Friday.
Oh,
I wish I could.
Friday.
I wish. What are you doing? Because I'll go do it for you, and you can race it out.
You can gladly go to work for me.
I would much rather go to work for you than race at Iowa. I'm not kidding.
So let's.
Yeah, I got to go to Pittsburgh Friday. I won't be back in time for it.
Are you 100% sure you won't be back in time?
I'm 100% sure I will not be here Friday.
I was going to say, text me. You need a couple minutes or something. I'll hold them up.
No, I'm pretty sure because I won't be leaving Pittsburgh until about 6 or 7 at night. So.
Yeah, we ain't going to make it back.
No.
Well, here's the thing, and you know it. If something happens and you got out early and you're just going to be 10, 15 minutes late or something, shoot me a text. I'll hold them up.
All right, I'll text him because Hot Rod never has his phone anyway.
I'll make sure I have my phone on Friday.
All right, let's talk about Saturday night's Team Series. Saturday night, I believe this was race number 6. Yeah, race number 6 out of 10. So 4 races left to go. Looks like I got the pole for the Yingling team, but it was BSR SS Joba bringing home the victory for the Aftershock team. Aftershock badly needing this victory in this race because they were down in last place. I think they were only down by 7 points, but points were close last week, and I believe they are even closer this week. Last week, going into this race, we had a tie for the lead between the Yingling team and the Black Car Mafia, and Aftershock was sitting back in 3rd, down by 7 points. With the way things finished up, this week, SS Joba picking up the win. They made up points on both the Mafia and the Yingling team, and we had some pretty good teamwork in this series, really, by all of these teams. Myself, Gear Jammer, and Hot Rod for the Yingling team, we were working pretty well together all night long. Gear and Hot Rod both had slightly different fuel strategy. They were going one more lap than I was, but we were all able to come out of the pits pretty much together, just about every stop, even if we had to maybe check a little bit to make sure we got together. The group of cars that was in front of us was always going to be a little bit less. I believe it was SS and Pockets that had made it out well ahead of everybody else at one point, and the three of us were able to hook up and run those two cars down and catch back up to them. When it came down to the end of the race, the last pit stop, after that last pit stop, there had been several drivers that had received black flags, just had bad pit stops, and we're ending up a lap down. SS Joba, I had come out of the pits where I probably could have hung on to SS Joba and been up there racing with him, but my two teammates were not too far behind me, so I elected to lift a little bit, get with my two teammates. There was three of us. We could have easily run down SS Joba, running all by himself there. He did pick up. He
The
picked
whole
up.
field.
Well, at first he just picked up Rugrat and had her draft. So it was 2-on-3, and we were still catching, but not quite as fast. And then Rugrat had some engine problems. Her engine blew up, which left SS temporarily by himself again.
Nope.
I didn't just have.
Just let me
No,
finish the
Palmion
story
was-
here, Palmian.
I was already in them when Rugrat blew up.
Were you?
Wasn't Palmy
Okay.
on with then?
Yep, I had fallen back, and you guys
Well-
had caught me.
You were almost with them, or you were basically in the process of getting with them right there.
Rugrat was directly behind me when she blew up.
Okay. So basically what I mean by all the teamwork from all of these teams, not only was the Yingling team working together the whole race, we stayed together, the three of us, drafting together and trying to catch up, but these other teams pulled the strategy that they needed to. SS was out there pretty much all by himself. Eddie D, his teammate, was a lap down. He fell back to make sure he got with his teammate to help him draft, and the rest of the Mafia team did what they had to do. Like I said, Palmian was pretty much already with SS by the time Rugrat had blown up. But the rest of that Mafia team, they know, hey, we're in a tie with the Yingling team right now. If that Yingling team runs down SS Joba, they're going to pass him and take the win, which is going to put them farther ahead of us. So what they did was they did what they had to do. They lifted up and got with SS Joba and made sure that the Yingling team was not going to be able to catch that Aftershock team and take a victory. So, but you play the odds in this series.
But they were 100% right, because had we caught Joba, it would have been a 1-2-3 England finish, and that would have hurt all of them really bad.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that you keep that next team back to fourth place, points, but
The only option any of them had was
Yeah.
to do that.
you gotta play the strategy. You got to know who's where in the points, what team you can afford to finish behind, and what team you need to finish in front of. So, with Aftershock being 7 points behind Yingling and Mafia, it's much better for them. It's to their advantage to have SS Joba take that win and keep us back to second place points. And they did what they had to do. That's why I say that this race there was a lot of teamwork going on here. It may not have been the greatest race for the Mafia. They didn't necessarily have the greatest finish or the greatest race, but they still used that strategy of the team
They
series.
cut the bleeding real quick.
That's
They did.
right. They got back there and did what they had to do. So points were close, like I said last week. Now the point difference from first to third has cut down even more. So let's go take a look at our standings here. The Yingling team still in the lead, but now it's Aftershock has moved up to second place, only down by 2 points, and the Black Car Mafia in third, only down by 3 points. So a little over halfway through this season, and I mean, these points are as close as they can be. 3 points separate the lead from the last place team. You couldn't.
Three points separate first to last, and 4 races to go.
That's right. Just like
Yeah,
we've.
Texton.
Go ahead.
I didn't have just engine problems last night. I had all sorts of problems. First, my computer didn't want to start for me. Then I finally got it in. And me and Hot Rod have been having internet issues all week long. And when Like, we blink. We actually don't blink. The whole field of cars around us die. Like, they just disappear. It's horrible.
I've been telling them, and they tell me I'm crazy.
Yeah, no, we don't just blink out. Like, you think it's bad when one person blinks out. Try to have the whole field have 3-4 cars around you, and they all just disappear. You don't know where any of them went.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Eddie
that's-
experienced that a little bit yesterday because he disappeared for a long time.
Yeah, but he disappeared. I don't. You guys always see me. You guys disappear on me. I don't disappear on you.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
well-
on Eddie's end, we all disappeared for him because he disappeared for like 7-8 seconds, and then when he finally reappeared with the server, he was like 5 seconds behind us, and he was in the draft.
Well, yeah, that was because of him blinking out, though.
Yeah, he actually blinked out, and yeah, you guys don't disappear on our screens. You look nice and steady. You're still in the race, maybe a teeny bit of wiggle, but not much. But I know
Well, the
how that
wiggle-
feels
the
when.
The wiggle is when you guys disappear from our screen and we're not sure where you're at. So you kind of lift a little bit. You tense up on the wheel because you don't want to make a mistake because you know that everybody's going to pop back in.
Oh yeah, and just like what with Eddie D when he disappears and he ends up 5 seconds back. When you disappear like that, you're since you're still on the track, you're still in the draft and everything is fine, but you don't know that, and you're thinking in your mind, I've disappeared. All of a sudden my draft has gone away. I'm going to come back inside somebody's car, so
Because
that's scary.
you don't know. And it only takes one time to do that. You wreck the whole field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you ask Pockets was behind me a couple times that did it, and man, I'm like, guys, go around me. I don't know where any of you are. I don't know. Like, I was on the whisper with him and Momo the whole time. I'm like, he's got to go around me. Get in front of me. I'll push you.
Now I see Vito out there in the chat wondering why he even bothers to type because nobody reads it. We do read it, Vito. It's just hard sometimes to get in there right away. And as a matter of fact, I was thinking exactly that when you type that in. I'm going to go back over here to this schedule just to point this out right quick, that each team does have 2 wins. We're 6 races in, and each team in here has won 2. The Yingling team won the first race. Mafia won the second race. Yingling team picked up its second win at the third race. Aftershock picked up a win in the fourth race. Then Black Car Mafia picks up its second win in race number 5. And now the Aftershock team has picked up its second win in race number 6. So each one of these teams with 2 victories, that's part of why these points are so close, is that the victories are even. At this point, everybody's got 2, but 4 races left to go. Those
Big City change.
those
I bet you
victories.
we have an odd number of winners next week.
Yeah, those victories can't stay even. We could all get 3, but one of these teams is going to have that other win. Everybody could end up with 3 wins, and it could come down to the very last race of the season, where all 3 of these teams have all got 3 wins apiece, and it's going to be, who wins that last race and where they're at in the point standings come that last race.
I do know there is a magical number in the races that are left. There is 1 truck race and 3 cup races left to go.
I would like to personally address Donald's question because it was posed in the form of a question. Why do I even type here? No one reads it. Well, the reason that you type here is because that's what you do when you're at work. You type in shit. So
that's not right.
That's why you're typing it there.
Hey, Vito, we're glad you're tuning in here at work. And sorry that you're having to work on a Sunday.
I don't mean it. I don't mean it as that's why he types there, because he's at work and he watches streams and stuff. He gets to enjoy watching the spotter stand while he's at work, and he can type in there. So that's why I'm saying why. Yes, we should probably keep a closer eye on the chat. But in our defense, Donald, we're not used to anybody chatting over there, so we can't.
That's a good point. Yep, that's a real good point. There's only a couple people that ever chat in there, and one of
User
them is that
disconnected from your channel.
Yeah, I mean, we get 8 people to watch, and one person chats. Sometimes it's
Yeah, Vito, I think is our biggest chatter out there, probably on every one of these. He makes it a point to chime in whenever he can, and we appreciate that, Vito. We appreciate you being out there, man.
Vito, I will tell you, Vito will be the first person to tell you he appreciates shows like this because it does give him something to do while he's at work.
So let's go back over to these standings right quick one more time before we head into the bonus point segment here. This couldn't be any closer, and I know we've already mentioned this several times about this particular season. Season 41 of the BSR Team Series. These teams could not be stacked any better than they are. I mean, they're about as equal as they could be as far as experience level on all of these teams. So that's part of the reason why these points are so close, and I expect it's going to stay this way for most of the rest of the season. Like I said, it could come down to the very final race before we decide who's going to be the champion of season 41. And
That's right.
like Hot
It's
Rod
close.
said, yeah, very close. Like Hot Rod said, we've got one truck race left in this season 41. That is going to be this coming Saturday. We'll be racing in the trucks at Daytona, and the final 3 races will all be in the Cup Series of the segment. And it's going to be a fight for the victory this year. So let's go over and take a look at our bonus points after our final bonus point race of the season. Let's see how everything stands right now. These are your Truck Series bonus points right here. Texas was our bonus point race, and Gear Jammer picking up 3 bonus points. Those are his first bonus points in this Truck Series, but great race to get on the board with 3 and not just 1. SS Joba picking up 2 bonus points for the second place. Pockets, myself, and Mayhem all picking up 1 bonus point as well. So it looks like I've still got a pretty decent lead, but that has been cut back quite a bit with SS picking up 2 bonus points. SS moving up to 7 bonus points, only 7 points off the lead right now going into the chase. Pockets picking up a bonus point, moving up to 5. Mayhem also picking up a bonus point, moving up to 5 as well. And that 1 bonus point is what put me up to a total of 14. So 7 points back to second place, 5 points for the third place right now with Pockets and Mayhem. And you got a few other drivers in there with 3 right now. Momo with 3, Gear with 3. Those were his first 3 bonus points. And picking up those points, you moved right up there even with Gear and Scar with 3 bonus points. Gear Jammer. So great job, man.
I moved even with myself. Awesome.
I'm sorry. You moved up there even with Momo and Scar. Yes. But 3 races left to go. Iowa, Iowa, Pocono, and Chicagoland. So you got
Iowa's going to be tough, like I said, because I've never raced there before. So
Never raced at Iowa?
I don't believe I have.
Nah, maybe not.
didn't we race Iowa earlier this season?
No.
No. You run Iowa 3 times a year, twice in Xfinity and once in the trucks, and they're always in the last half of the year. And I do believe he started at Iowa in Xfinity. I'm going to check to see.
Yeah, check that because I don't remember running Iowa. I don't even remember what the track looks like or how the track is.
Oh, it's small.
God, you would remember it, I
Very
promise
small.
you. I don't know. You may like it. It's a small track, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a
He ran Iowa.
difficult.
The only way that damn track got on the schedule anyway is because Darrell Walter or Rusty Wallace owns it. Which is some bullcorn.
Gear finished
Bias.
78 laps down. He retired.
So you know what to look forward to on Wednesday, Gear.
Retiring.
Getting farther behind in the points.
Actually, hold on. Let me go see if you ran it in the trucks, because you probably ran it in the trucks too.
Well, remember you were just getting started with this game back then. So now you've got a lot of races under your belt at a lot of different tracks. So I think things will be a little bit different for you at Iowa this season.
Not a game. This is a simulation. Checkers is a game. This is racing.
That's right. Excuse me. Thank you for correcting me on that.
That's the first person
no
I'm
problem.
taking out.
Yes, you did not. The second Iowa and second segment of Xfinity was the first time you ran Iowa. So you've only run it once. So I wouldn't be too hard on yourself for retiring.
You've got
Yep.
22 laps.
Pockets has ran that place about 100 times, and he retires almost every time he races there. So.
Right, that track is the first track in probably 15 years, at least 12 years, in a series race that I quit.
Yeah, Vito, I don't see what's wrong with Iowa myself either. I like that track. I like almost every track that we race at. With the exception of maybe Darlington. I don't have a problem with Iowa. I like it.
I'll just have to get with Hot Rod.
So speaking of Xfinity, let's look at the Xfinity bonus points here. We're now a couple races into segment 2. You can see I've added a little bit over there to our totals box, seeing how we're so far into this segment, and there's quite a few bonus points handed out. But Michigan, it was myself that picked up the 3 bonus points. Palmian, with the second place finish, picked up 2 bonus points. Pockets, Gear, and Eddie D all picking up 1 bonus point for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place finish. Over here in the totals, since we're all lined up by our car number here and not by points order, I've added little green, yellow, and orange boxes to make it a little easier to pick out who's currently in the lead in these bonus points, who's in second, who's in third.
He's rubbing it in.
I'm just trying to make things a little easier than having to look through here and pick out who's got how many points out of these top few drivers. Also, just under that, what I've added are the current attendance points, which we had 11 races in the first segment of the Xfinity series. So the current total attendance points is 11. If you don't have at least 11 bonus points, that means you didn't make the minimum amount of races to get the full bonus points for that segment, and you received whatever races you had made it to. You received attendance points for those if you don't have any other points over there. That just makes it easier, I think, for everybody if they want to double check these bonus points. You can add up what's in each box for each racer, but if you don't know what the attendance bonus points are, then you don't know where they got those other 11 points from. So I figured I would add that down there. That way anybody who's watching the spotter stand wants to go back and double check their bonus points or anybody's bonus points to make sure that the math is all right and everybody has got what they're supposed to have. You can count each box, race wins, Daytona, all those boxes, and then you can add the 11 for the drivers who made their allotted amount of races. And you should come up with the same number I've got over there in the totals box.
User disconnected from your channel.
So right now it looks like I'm in the lead with 25 bonus points on Friday night. BSR Pockets in second place with 21 bonus points, and SS Joba in third with 18 bonus points. Several ties in here after that. We've got Gear Jammer, Eddie D, and Palmian, all 3 with 15 bonus points. Mayhem and Bubba J with 14 bonus points. Hot Rod currently with 13 bonus points in this series. And it looks like most of the rest of the drivers all in the single digits at the moment. But points are pretty close here. Pockets only down by 4 in the Xfinity Series. If I remember correctly, Pockets was leading the bonus points in this Friday night series for quite some time. Most all of the segment one. Pockets, you were up there in the lead in these bonus points, and you're still, I mean, right there. You're within 4 points heading into the chase at the moment.
Well, we're getting into the part of the schedule, into the meat and potatoes part of the schedule where some of these tracks are, Infinion's tough, man. I mean, sitting there trying to think of a tougher track than Infineon. I don't know that there is one.
Well, this is the.
It's the toughest road course.
This is the Xfinity,
Elevations.
This is
All right.
yeah. This is the Xfinity, so we're coming into Iowa this week, not Infineon at Xfinity. And picking up that win the previous week at the road course, that was a big plus for you right there. It brought you up.
That was that was the ones that you do not count on, the ones that you automatically assume and mark on the calendar as just show up and race and move on to the next one. To get a win out of one of those is, that's that's part of that luck that we always talk about, that racing is 90%, 80% luck and 20% skill. It's part of the 80%, I guess. You got to take it when you can get it.
Yeah, and it's only showing you 2 over there in the race winners box, but you did win Daytona as well. So you've actually got 3 victories in this Xfinity Series so far this season. So, doing pretty well in the winner circle in the Xfinity Series. Not too bad at all.
I'll tell you, the truck series running the extra, the off season series and stuff like that with the CTS physics. The CTS physics are so much more forgiving and they're just they seem to benefit our style of racing a lot more. You know what I mean? We've got our CTS and nationwide stuff pretty dialed in. It's the Cup stuff, because as well as I do that we talk all the time about how many times do we actually say at a CTS event that, well, we're back to Cup tomorrow and it's going to be completely different. It's that completely different part that seems to affect us a little negatively.
Yep, and 10 races left to go here until we finish up segment 2 and head into the chase. And as you can see, other than a race win, that's the only bonus points that are going to be left in this and the Cup Series are the segment 2 and the full season top 5. So victories are what you got for the rest of this season. We got 10 chances to pick up some more bonus points before we head into the chase.
That's 10. Is there any more bonus? There's another bonus point event, isn't there? Or are we done with bonus point
we're
events?
done.
Yeah, that was
All
it.
All right, so 10 more points on the board.
Yep, plus
That'll be divided up amongst the participants. So
plus your segments. You still want to do as well as you can in every single race, so you can try to stay in that top 5 to get the segment bonus points when that segment ends.
Yeah, and as well as I do that 10 points, even if you had 0 bonus points right now and you won all 10 of those races, you would win. You would get a couple of segment points or something like, you know what I mean? You go in, let's just say 12 points. Going into that first race at the chase, 12 points ain't going to get it. It's all going to be a different story after that first race. Now, yeah, you'll probably still be ahead, but you still got to perform and protect that lead and utilize that head start that you got on points. But one race, you finish last, that all goes away. And guess where you are? Back to square one, even with everybody. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, as we pointed out,
because I told Texan, was it this? Which series was it? You gained 10 points on me in just what was it? Friday race or
it was
Thursday
Thursday.
race?
Thursday in the Cup, and it was Gear who gained 10 points on you on Wednesday night.
Yes.
So yeah,
but
10 points in one race is That happens a
I-
lot. That happens a
And-
lot.
And the thought is, or the fact is, you can lose them just as fast in the exact same way as you get them. You know what I mean? You can lose them just as easily as you can gain them, just that quickly. And that's part of that is that it is. We did try to stick with the philosophy that Big Bill France wanted to race under, and that's consistency. Not, you know what I mean? It's the consistency, the average over a certain set or amount of races. It's the average. It's being consistent. It's not winning every time. It basically boils down to how many times do you finish poorly? The least amount of times you finish poorly is almost as important as the amount of times that you win. It's a perfect balance, and that's what racing and the points need to reflect is consistency across the board.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it happened to me last season in the Cup Series, blowing fourth gear in the final race, and my car didn't make it the entire race. I had a bad finish in the very last race of the chase, and I lost
One
quite a
bad
few
race
points.
canceled out all them wins.
That's
didn't
right. That's right. And Mayhem took the chase championship by 1 point over myself and just 2 points over Momo. So, one race can change everything.
And if I remember right, in the second segment last year in the Cup, you won like 8 races in a row.
Yeah, this second segment, I think in both of these, Cup and Xfinity, seems to be it favors me a little bit. The tracks that we're racing in this second segment. Last season, I didn't win a single race in the entire first segment of the Cup Series. I didn't win my first race in the Cup Series until segment 2. And then like you said, I had a string of them. I won several races in segment 2, but the first segment, I didn't win any races in the Cup Series last season.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Speaking of Cup, let's go ahead and take a look at our Cup Series bonus points currently. Michigan, I pulled off the victory in the Cup Series at Michigan, picking up another 3. Mayhem finished in second, picking up 2. Pockets, Momo, and Palmian rounded out the top 5, all picking up 1. Palmian picking up another bonus point towards his chase here in the Cup Series. And again, over here, I've added our same little bit. Got the little boxes here to kind of make it a little easier to pinpoint who is where as far as the top 3 spots in the overall bonus points. And our current attendance points for the Cup Series, 13. So we had 13 races in segment 1. So everybody who made a little over half got those full 13 bonus points. So you can add up all these other boxes over here, add 13 to it, and that's where you'll get your overall standing. So again, I put those there just to help everybody out. If you want to go back and just double check me, because I'm pretty decent at math, but everybody makes a mistake every once in a while. So if you want to double check your bonus points, make sure you've got what you should have. That makes it a lot easier for you to go over there and add all these up and make sure that everybody's where they're supposed to be bonus point wise. Those 3 bonus points took me up to a total of 28 bonus points in the Cup Series. Mayhem currently in second place. That is last season's Cup champion. 4 points back from the lead currently with 24 bonus points. I would expect he's probably going to have a decent second segment as well. He's already got 4 wins over there in the winter box, plus he won the spring Texas race, giving him a total of 5 victories so far in this Cup Series. I'd expect him to do pretty well in this second segment. And 4 points, as we've said several times, 4 points is nothing. 1 race, that's no problem. 4 points going into the chase. Pockets and SS Joba both tied for 3rd right now with 20 points. I mean, that's really not that far off the lead either. 8 points 8 points behind currently with 11 races left to go in this segment. 20 points. They're doing pretty well. And next up on the board, it looks like we've got Hot Rod. Hot Rod, you're actually doing pretty decent in the Cup Series this year. You do have a couple of wins on top of the win in the AK Series, and you're sitting at 17 bonus points right now. So you're doing pretty well so far here in this Cup Series. 16 bonus points, BSR Momo and BSR Palmian. Look at that, Palmian, the rookie, tied for bonus points right now with last season's Xfinity champion and a veteran of this Cup Series. That's saying something right there. You're doing pretty well, considering this is your first full season, along with, Gear Jammer and Eddie D, also their first full season. But you came in a month or so after those guys did, and you're doing pretty well in this Cup Series in bonus points, tied with Momo right now for 16. Bub, go ahead.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah, 11 races left to go. Your racing has definitely improved. You've had some great races here in the last few weeks. Some good finishes. Races like that, finishes like that, all that does is encourage you to just keep that streak going. And I bet you that you're going to have some pretty good races here in segment 2.
Oh, I plan on it.
It looked like Bubba J, the only person in there with 15 at the moment. Eddie D sitting in there with 14. Gear Jammer with 13 bonus points. It looks like pretty much everybody else down to the single digits at the moment, but not too far off. And really, even some of these newer guys who have just joined us, like Mike Coulong, Sean Fredericks. Mike's in there with 5 bonus points. Sean with 4. They just had come in at the end of these first segments, so didn't have opportunity to get the full segment, those 13 bonus points, which puts them a little bit behind. But Mike and Sean, both great racers. They've had some great finishes here, and right now Mike's sitting 23 points off the lead. All that takes is for the couple of these top drivers to have a couple of bad races and Mike to have consistently good finishes in the chase, which I expect he probably will. He's got a legitimate shot at winning a Cup championship, even coming through just in a little less than halfway through the regular season. So same thing with Sean. Sean's sitting there with 4, only 1 point behind Mike at the moment. I would expect both of them are going to make enough races to get the full segment bonus points for segment 2. And if they pick up a few wins here and there, they could be within 20 points or less of the championship when we head into race number 1 of the chase. 10 races. It's like Pocket said earlier, it's all about consistency. If you can have a good, consistent top 5 finish in all of those 10 races, that might be all it takes. You don't even necessarily have to pull off a win, just a good, consistent top 5. Now, in these guys' cases, they might have to pull off a few wins to get those extra points, but it's feasible. I think I interrupted you there, Pocket. You were about to say something.
No. You're fine. Go ahead.
Well, that's about all I've got. I know, Larry, I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm just trying to make it easier, man. Picking up those, who's where. Like I said, I've got everybody listed over here in this total bonus points according to their number. Same thing in that race winners box. You just listed in the order of your car number, and that makes it easier for me. That way I don't have to swap places every time the bonus points change and somebody moves up or down. I just list everybody by their car number, and then all I've got to do is change the amount of bonus points they have. So adding these little boxes just makes it easier for me and for everybody to pick out who's where in the bonus points when it comes down to looking at these things. It's a little easier than having to just scan down the list, and sometimes I miss people. So with that, we're going to wrap it up tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in out there and being with us live here on the Spotter Stand. We've got Iowa coming up on Wednesday night, and Finian coming up Thursday night, and Iowa again on Friday night in the Xfinity Series. And then we'll have Daytona in the trucks on Saturday night, season 41 of the Team Series. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being here, helping out live. And we'll catch you guys on the track Wednesday night at Iowa.
Holla!
Later.
Sound muted.